Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're just going to be working on a few projects around the garden. It's the weekend. The kids are out playing. It's supposed to be 80 degrees today, and I can hear neighbors out working. It's just a beautiful day out here today. And we're starting right back here by our kitchen entrance because, as you know, our house was recently painted and it looks so clean and fresh and crisp, but we had to move everything away from the house so that it could be painted. That included window boxes. These trellises had to come down. All of the containers that were in this area are still sitting over here. So that's the project I want to start with. And we did get a bunch of rain last night and I just sat down in that chair. So I have a completely wet bum at the moment, which will probably dry pretty quickly out here in the warm temperature. But yeah, we did get a lot of rain last night. I mean, it poured for a while. We had a huge lightning and thunderstorm last night. I mean, it was really close by, like you would see the lightning and immediately after you would hear the thunder. So it was pretty intense. Whenever we have that, you know, the rain hits here and splatters it back on there. So I like my urge is to come out here and clean everything again so it looks nice and fresh still. But oh my goodness, it's looking so much better. We have a little flower bed right here. There's a big giant hosta that comes up right here, and there's a few more in this area. I have been putting that brown container that has the little trellis, you can see the little indent, and we'll probably put it back right there because I like it and it looks really pretty when the hostas hug it. And then the rest of these I just clustered around in this spot, and then I think I had just one over on the other side. And we recently potted up our, was it Final Fire maple? I don't know why I can never remember the exact name of it. But anyway, it's a beautiful tree and it's looking really good. Buds everywhere. And then below the trellises here, I have pink meat clematis, which I had trimmed back to 18 inches. And they got trimmed back again. I wonder if they were up against the house a little too much. But I see new growth on them, not as much on that one. So I hope that that one bounces. But I love them because you can cut them back every year, clean up the area, and then they do really well in this space. And there's also some sweet woodruff. You can see right here some lamiastrum, and there's a couple of hostas in this space as well. And then in our containers, we have a very lopsided boxwood. Like, what was I thinking when I planted this thing? Benjamin popped a viola in there the other day because he said that there was too much space right there. He wasn't wrong. So I might work on getting that recentered. And then we will move the brown container back. I had annuals in this last year, so I might find something in the greenhouse that we want to put in here for this year. Or not, I might plant it later. And then in these two containers, I had the blue enchantress macrophylla hydrangeas, which both died, along with the others that I still had in nursery containers that I overwintered with all my other stuff. All my other stuff came back, those did not. And I kind of expected that. It was a kind of a treat yourself moment. It was around Mother's Day last year, and I thought, Happy Mother's Day to me. And I bought them all, knowing that they might just be an annual thing to enjoy. And we enjoyed the heck out of them. They were so beautiful up here. I was hopeful that they would do okay. In fact, we pruned them in a video together when we pruned the arborescens hydrangeas, which are right there, and they're thriving, leafed out, looking beautiful. And when we pruned them, they had swollen buds that were squishy. They looked really healthy. Everything looked good. And I didn't do a hard prune on them. I just cut off like the very tippy top of the branches and then took off any really soggy, gross looking leaves. And then it did get kind of cold after that, but not cold enough to kill them, I don't think, but you know, who knows. Anyway, I've got some beautiful hostas to put in those pots instead. Right here. Won't those be beautiful? Oh my goodness, Samantha left an egg on the stairs. She went and gathered eggs this morning. We only had one at that point. But these, so they grow about that tall, 18 inches or so, and then they'll spread out upwards of 30 inches. So I think they'll fill up those containers. I mean, just one plant in each of those pots, and we get to enjoy this look the whole year. That's my favorite part about hostas. They just come up beautifully, kind of like sedum. They just do their thing. You don't have to mess with them too much. I mean, these will send up bloom stalks, but it's just, you know, not all season long. It's like you deadhead them once and you're done for the season. But that's what I plan on for these two containers. And then I had a wolf eyes dogwood, which also had swollen buds this spring, and they look like they are, I mean, there's a little flex left in the branch. There's green left though still in the branches here. We might give it a minute, but it's not looking super promising. I might pop it out and put something different in here for the time being and put this somewhere where it can kind of recuperate if it does end up leafing out. When we're done with this spot, I've got a couple of clematis plants that I would love to plant around the arch that leads to our new brick patio area. Right here, I bought some Guernsey cream is what these are called. Isn't that gorgeous? So these will grow like 6 to 9 feet tall. The flowers, like this one has a larger flower. I think they can get upwards of 6 to 8 inches in diameter. Hold on, let me get this one freed from the vine. Yeah, look at that. So pretty. I just love that creamy white with that green in the center. It looks so unique and so cooling, and I'm hoping that they do well here. Now, all clematis are in a different pruning group. This one is in pruning group B1, which means for this variety, pruning is optional. So you can go in once the buds start to swell in the spring, and you can take out any weak growth or dead branches, and maybe even try to keep some of the branches staggered in the plant so that you have a really nice full bloom show the next spring. But it'll be nice to have a vine that just kind of climbs up this plant support, and then we don't really need to do much with it other than, you know, clean off dead leaves that get kind of caught up in the vine after they fall, and then maybe do a light prune in the spring. And I'm also hopeful that they like this space. It gets really warm, hot sun in the summertime, and clematis typically like their faces in the sun and their feet in the shade, their roots shaded. So I'm gonna have to plant something around the base of them eventually just to keep them cool down there. But I thought it was worth a shot because I don't really want to do roses here. I don't want anything, oh, that one's loose. I don't want to do anything that has thorns or that grows too wildly. And it's really hard to find a vine that doesn't grow wildly, that likes full sun. So anyway, we're gonna give this one a shot and see what happens. And after that project, I don't know how long these will take me. We'll just see if we can fit anything else in. I do need help moving these pots though, so that's gonna have to happen before I do anything else. Okay, we got everything put back into the locations where we had it last year, but of course things look differently when we had the huge hydrangea shrub, and you know, of course, when things have leaves on it. I think what I might do here is I might eliminate this pot for now and pop this one back a little bit, like kind of right in this area, move the boxwood into the bigger container, move the hosta into the smaller container, and have a little like 3 grouping instead of a 4. And then over here, it's amazing how full this flower bed will get. It will make it look much more full back here, but I think getting the hosta up in here will just kind of tidy up this space. And then we have more room to add more stuff if we want to. And Samantha is doing some nice coloring over here while I plant. Very nice job, babe. I also repositioned the table just a little bit so there was lots of room all the way around it. These chairs are really heavy, so I don't really like to have them scooted all the way up to the table usually. I want it to be easy. Ah, we've got flyaway papers. Surely we have a rock around here somewhere. I'm getting you a rock to weigh your paper down. Hang on. Ah, that'll work. Perfect, huh? Anyway, I was saying that these chairs are so heavy that I kind of like them to be out away from the table, not scooted in, so that it's easy to, you know, sit down quickly if you want to. Anyway, we're just going to kind of work on this space. So we'll stop when we're done and take a tour. Bags of soil sat out in the rain last night, and they're just as soggy as can be. Oh my goodness. I won't have to water these pots in though, so that's nice. Okay, see how hard these are to get out of their containers. Oh my. Oh my goodness. All right, so I am going to use my clippers, and we're just going to cut the root ball several locations, and that should be enough to break the root memory. I don't really worry about the sides too much. Yeah, should be fine. Oh gosh, that's gorgeous. Okay, we are part of the way done, but I think we're gonna have to head down to the garden center real quick. Because don't you think it would be pretty to have another Japanese maple right here to kind of fill in this space and maybe mirror this other side a little bit? I think it would be beautiful. So I haven't done my final cleanup either, because I think when we're down at the garden center, I'll pick out something to go around the base of this boxwood. I really like that jump up though, that little switch. That way we get kind of the right height in this little trio. And we were able to center the boxwood, and I kind of figured out why I was having such a hard time. The back side of it just hollows out. So it just needs a chance to fill back in right here, but I got the trunk in the center. So I think from most angles, it looks pretty good. And then that hosta just fills that pot beautifully. And the hosta on the other side, I feel like I might do a little something around the edge of that one, because this one being in a taller pot, we've got a little bit more play for something that might drape a little bit. And also this is a larger diameter pot, so there's more space here, so we could easily tuck some sweet little things in. So I think I'll see if Samantha wants to head down there with me. We'll have a little garden center date. Do you want to go down to Andrew Seed? Yeah, okay, come on. Nana and Papa will be so happy to see you. Should we wipe the dirt off your face? Got a little bit from all your hard work. Okay, let's go. Okay, here we go. I think she was trying to fall asleep on the way down here. Hello?
Hey, baby girl.
Were you gonna fall asleep in the car?
You sleepy girl.
Yeah. She didn't do her nails. She's been helping me. Huh, our nails look kind of the same. A little bit, mine are dirtier. All right, we're heading out in the nursery. Oh, there's a beauty. That's a little too big, but that's beautiful. Oh, it is full out here, you guys. You think that's pretty? That is pretty, but you know what? We still haven't planted the other two you picked out the other day. We need to plant those first. Come here. I'm gonna have to knock on Nana's window.
Hello. Hello, Samantha Grace. Are you coming in to see your Nana?
Yeah.
Come and see me. Hurry. Hurry.
Come on, babe. This way.
Come and see me. Come
I
and
told
see
you I
me.
saw you.
Here you come. Here you come. Kitty, kitty, kitty.
That is pretty. What is that? Oh, that's a beauty berry. Look at this Japanese maple, babe. Isn't that pretty? That's a red dragon.
Get it.
Well, I think we need to get something a little bit smaller. Let's run into the shade house. Okay? This way. Follow me. Look at these. Emerald Spire crabapple. So pretty. Ooh, see, like this size is kind of what we're after. What is this one? Fire Glow. That might be our tree right there. Let's go in here though and look. This is what is this one? A Pung Keel Japanese maple. I've never seen that one before. That's beautiful. Ooh, what are these? Let's look at these, babe. These are blood goods. This is kind of the right size of root ball. Let's take a look at this one. This is a pretty one, huh? Let's take a look at these others too. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at all the clematis. Hey, Samantha, look at this. Look at that flower. Isn't that beautiful? Hey, look, there's more. Look at this. Oh, that's so beautiful. Look at this. So pretty. Oh, that one's a pretty color. Yes, that's a beauty. Oh, those are sweet little flowers, aren't they?
They're like your flowers.
Yes, they are. Yeah. Does that feel good? Refreshing? Oh, the pink flower. You know what that's called? Virginia. Yep. Okay, we've got our stuff. We've got our tree. And did you, oh, I love your shirt. Look at the flowers, Samantha. What do you think about those? Yep, we will take them. Let's go wheel this over to the truck. We can pick up that whole thing, I think. You got it? Oh, thank you. Okay, we're just gonna take it really slow on the way home. guys, we are done. I'm gonna call it at this point. I was not expecting the impromptu garden center run that added a little extra time to our day, but Samantha and I had a great time, and she helped me pretty much the entire time I was out here. We even went out and picked some tulips. But look at this area. It's just so fresh and it's clean. Oh my goodness. Now, I'll have to wait until the ground dries all the way in order to blow away all this extra little soil that was all wet on the ground. That never cleans up very well when it's wet. So we'll wait on that. But I love this little trio of containers. There's room to add more should we want to. But the last couple of years, I've just enjoyed more simple groupings of things, a little more clean. Yeah, even though there's a lot of plants in some of these containers, I do like that there's fewer here. And some of the containers, like this one, super simple, the wee hosta. So just one plant in that container. Also, everything I used in all of these containers, everything is perennial. Even the flowers, there's some perennial violas and violets, there's lamium, there's creeping jenny, and then of course the trees and the hostas and the boxwood will all come back every year too. And that's close to full size. I want to say it might get a little bit more thick, maybe. I mean, it's pretty thick already. It might get a tiny bit wider, but I don't expect it to, and that's kind of perfect. In the second pot up, we've got the Green Mountain Cone Boxwood, and then I just surrounded it with these blue Remington violets. My parents have these in their garden, and they do like to take over if they're planted in the ground, so be aware of that. But they have the sweetest flowers, and oftentimes they bloom both spring and fall, and they stay in bloom for quite a long time. They are a zone 5, and they can take fairly moist soil, and because they're not going to get a tremendous amount of sun in this area, I don't expect them to be like very prolific, which is kind of perfect. And then we've got a lamium called Pink Pewter, and I believe this one is a zone 5. I would have to verify. It could be a zone 4, but it'll have sweet little pink blooms on it, and that'll just create a mass and kind of go over the sides a little bit. And then in our big container here, or the tallest container, the Bloodgood Japanese Maple, which is just starting to leaf out. So this is what they look like in the beginning stages, and then they get really broad. I don't know if we can tell from that picture, but yeah, we're getting close. Zone 5, it also will grow 20 feet tall by 15 feet wide if planted in the ground, and if it's not in our area. Benjamin, you put this sneak on big time. Have you been out here playing? Your haircut looks good, bud. Anyway, Japanese maples in our area are more ornamental sort of shrubs. Most of the time, they rarely reach their full potential because our soil and water are so high pH. They like it a little more acidic, and they also need protection from our hot afternoon sun. And as you can tell, like I'm probably super dirty, but I'm probably a little flushed too. It's pretty hot out right now. Not used to it yet. But I'm excited about this right here. It just fills in this gap beautifully, and maybe it will kind of block our grill. We don't really have another spot that makes sense for our grill. It tucks in really nicely, and it's right outside the kitchen, which works, but Okay, then we've got our tulips. These are the perfect purple tulips, and then I can't remember which variety of lily flower we had, but both of these came from the cut flower garden, and they look really pretty. And then over here we have the Final Fire maple, and then below it more of the blue Remington violas, which I'm hoping just kind of take over the top of that container. And then in this container, another wee hosta, and then we've got a mix of halo violet violas, which are also perennial, and more of the blue Remington. And I just realized I forgot to show everything at the base of this maple. And it's a really pretty mix. So I had 2 of the golden creeping jennies, and I split them in half. So we have 4 in there. And then I had a 4-pack of the pink pewter lamium. Same with this container. I used 4 in each container. And then I used 4 of the halo violets. Halo violet violas. So just imagine those trees all leafed out and the clematis growing back up the trellises. It's just a very peaceful spot. I love it. You can see my pile of stuff I have to come pick up in a minute, but everything is just starting to look so pretty. The daffodils in this area, they bloomed beautifully the first year, and as I kind of thought, they aren't blooming quite as prolifically now because they just get too much shade. They're not able to gather up enough energy. Some of them get a tiny bit more sun, so we get a little bit more action, but they're pretty in there. And then I did find a spot for our obelisk that was in the brown container. Just popped it right in there. There was a little opening. I thought I could go get another clematis. Maybe that one we saw down at the garden center that's really purple, that would be perfect right here. Russell, what are you doing? I see you in there. And last but not least, our clematis, the Guernsey cream. Now over here, we are gonna be, I know it looks deceiving because the truck is pulled all the way in here, but we're gonna cut out a little flower bed right here. So it's gonna start at the beginning of the arbor and then it'll kind of go straight through the hood of the truck, and it's going to connect to this one so that we can do a little flagstone pathway to the gate, and so we can also plant some other things in here just to incorporate this space more into the garden instead of just having it be, you know, parking right here. And also that will help offset this area because our boxwoods don't line up. You know, this row comes straight to this side of the arbor and this row sets back. But if we really play on the asymmetry here, I think it will be nice to have more bulk here. I don't know. But for now, we're gonna just enjoy the heck out of these flowers and pray that they love this location. You'll see me out here later this summer popping an umbrella up, give them a little shade. Anyway, guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I loved it. It was so nice having Samantha in and out. Benjamin was just all over the place outside today, but she wanted to stay close. She's kind of going through one of those needs to stay close to mom and dad phase, which is totally fine by me. We had a great time. So thanks again for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.